Here we go. So funky. Rock it like this.
Next, we're going to cover how to use Cubase's pitch shifting engine to cause some really interesting pitch shifting effects. So we have another audio file here.
Intro sound.
And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and duplicate a section of that audio file. So I'm going to take the sound and I'm going to take my slicing tool and I'm going to slice right there. I'm just going to quickly add little tiny fades here so we don't get any clicking in the audio stream. And I'm going to duplicate that audio file 4 times.
Intro sound.
So it all sounds the same, but we're going to apply a pitch shift effect to it. So what I'm going to do is the pitch shift effect works best if you're dealing with a single event. So I'm going to just quickly bounce this, replace the file so I have one single event.
Intro sound.
Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the file, and I'm going to go down to the Process menu, and I'm going to select Pitch Shift. And this gives me Cubase's pitch shifting engine. And as you can see, what comes up by default here is the transpose, where if you want to transpose the entire audio file to another key, that's possible. But I don't want to do that here. I want a changing and evolving pitch shift because I want to slowly pitch down the vocal sample. So I'm going to click on the Envelope tab here, and I want to make sure that I'm selecting a wide range. So the highest range you can go to here is 16 semitones. So I've selected 16 semitones, which means it's going to pitch shift it down quite dramatically. And this envelope allows you to draw in any type of curve into the pitch shift that you want. So I'm just going to quickly reset that. And what I want to happen over the course of the audio file is I want it to slowly pitch down to a maximum of -16 semitones. And we're just going to hit Process and see how that sounds.
Intro sound.
That sounds pretty interesting. Now, if you want to come back, one of the powerful things about Cubase's offline processing, like this effect, is you can come back and you can edit that later. So let's say we don't necessarily like the way that sounds, or we want to change that in the future. We can come back to our audio menu, go to Offline Process History, and in the process history you can see everything we've done offline using effects to this sample. So our pitch shift is here, and let's say we want to modify it. So again, it brings up our window. Let's say we want to start off the sample and we want to start by pitch shifting it up and go all the way down from +16 semitones down to -16 semitones, making the effect even more extreme. So let's process that, see how it sounds.
Intro sound.
This type of offline processing can be used with all types of VST effects in Cubase as well, and it's a great way to create glitchy or pretty dramatic effects changes and not have to use a lot of VSTs with online or live processing, which takes up a lot more processing power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to our audio menu here, and I'm going to go to our offline process history, and I'm going to remove our pitch shift and start again with the sample. So we're back to our original sample that we have.
Intro sound.
And I'm going to come up with my slice tool again, and I'm going to slice into different parts. And what I'm going to do is I want to create a dramatic effect where each repeat of the sound vocal is affected with a different type of VST. And we're going to do that with offline audio edits. So I'm going to right click on the first sound repeat, and I'm going to go to Plugins. And I'm going to go to my modulation menu, and I'm going to select a chorus effect on the first one. And I'm going to increase the rate on the chorus, again, because it's a fairly short sample, and I'm going to make it quite extreme, and I'm going to select Process. Now, so I know that that sample's different and it's been modified, I'm also going to add a color to it so I can really easily see it if I'm repeating it in another point in the project. So let's go to the second repeat, and we're going to go again down to Plugins, and this time we're going to use a bit crushing plugin. So we're going to go to our other menu, we're going to use Cubase's built-in bit crusher. I'm going to make sure the mix is at 100%, and we're going to tweak some of the settings. By the way, if you ever do want to hear what it'll sound like prior to applying the effect, you can always hit the preview button. So again, we've done an offline process to this sample. I'm going to add a color to it so I can differentiate it from the other ones. So now we're going to move on to the final sample. And on this one, we're going to apply Cubase's built-in chopper effect. So we're going to go to our plugins menu, we're going to go to Others, and we're going to go to Chopper. And we're going to set the chopper at a 16th pattern, again with our mix at 100%, and we're going to make sure the mono is unticked, and we're going to select Process. And again, adding a color to the sample so we can differentiate it from the others. So let's have a peek at what we've done here.
Intro sound, 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 sound.
Pretty interesting. So we've created a really different sounding effect, multiple effects, using Cubase's built-in offline audio processing, and we're not using any VSTs on the actual audio channel, which take up processing power. So this is a really resource-efficient way to add interesting effects to an audio track.
Intro sound, 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 sound.